So hello guys, welcome back to this YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed, kindly do like, share and comment. So on this day we were riding towards Machakos Junction purposely. There were some riders that we went to meet. They were from Mombasa and we decided that we will usher them in Nairobi. So having a ride today, we were going with three bikes were involved. One being my Yamaha R1 and also two Honda CBR. One it's my brother who is riding, and also the other one it's just a friend who is riding. So it's like a battle between two Hondas and one Yamaha. So make sure to stick up to the end to see who wins the battles from here to Machakos Junction. So on this road, I want to highlight one or two things. As you can see, before Lukenya, the road is a bit it's a bit heavy on traffic, but after Lukenya, the vehicles begin to minimize on the road. But remember, in as much as the road or the highways stretched out all the way from Lukenya to Machakos Junction, you will meet bad drivers here and there. So I've also highlighted a scenario or an incident that I met myself in, and it could have ended bad, but hopefully thanks to God, also the skills that you acquire riding these bikes, that I was able to salvage myself from that situation. So make sure to stick up to the end of this video that you can share, and also let's get the channel growing. It's a good day that we were riding to this place, because as you can see, the weather was okay, the sun was out. The factors that have led for us to go upon this ride were available, and so yeah, so it says let us hit the road and see how it goes. So make sure to stick up to the end of this video. Kindly like, again share and comment. So cheers guys, let's meet on the next commentary. I'll be doing this commentary once in a while, for the purposes of equipping and also for the purposes of sharing the knowledge that we get. So knowledge that I will share today is how do you get yourself out of such scenario, because the scenario that I'm going to show you, or the scenario that is going to play afterwards in this video, you will check that I was almost having an accident. But there are so many factors that you have to consider. Not only that, because you have a fast bike, it's not how about fast you go, but how slow you can slow down in case of such scenario. So one of the things that I'll share today is how fast can you engine brake, or how fast can you shift gears down. Remember, in these bikes, when you decide to slam the brakes on the 6th gear, remember that the 6th gear is very light, so you don't get enough of engine braking, or rather you don't get enough of stopping power. So you have to engine brake and also shift the gears down as fast as possible, also concentrating on how hard you brake. Yeah, remember, if you slam the brakes, you have a risk to skid. If you slam the brakes, you have a risk also to fall down. But factors considering that also this is a sunny day, and these bikes tends to brake well on tarmac while it's hot, because when the rubber has heated enough, it begins to have good traction. So even if you hard brake, unless you have just slammed the brakes all of a sudden, there's how you gain traction, by how you brake when the tarmac is hot. So this is my knowledge of today. Welcome back to the video. Like, share, subscribe. Cheers guys.
Tu nikienda tu for the time being saizi, alafu nikora tuweke hiyo harness. Maybe jioni saizi niko mahali nakimbia, lakini nikirudi, lakini napitia hapo, si niko na simu zako, lazima nipitie hapo nikupatia. unataka kunigonga? Kwani unaingia hivyo barabara? Sasa tungerudi.
So this was one of the most intense moments I have experienced in quite a while. I was doing 100 plus. So what happened in this scenario is that I had decided to commit to overtake early enough. There's a video that I did going to Mombasa, and I had said about committing early enough for you to make enough speeds or enough decision making to overtake a vehicle. So I had made enough decision or an early decision to overtake this vehicle even before I approached it, just right behind it. With these bikes, you can make that decision even 50 meters before you approach the vehicles. So because the power is intensely high, you can do those overtakes very comfortably. But now the advantages of making this kind of passes is that you are able to predict the driver where he wants to go. So while you are at the back, riding with instincts also shows you how a good defensive of a rider or a driver you are. I had predicted that he might want to switch his lane, but I didn't predict that it would have been that reckless. In many scenarios, if the driver decides to do what he has done, he will try and make a small room because he has already committed also. So he'll try to make a small room whereby you can fit. Yeah. So instead of filling up the road on the other side that he's overtaking with, he will try and maintain a middle position on the road so that he doesn't push you off the road, and also for him, he doesn't hit the vehicle that is in front of him. Yeah. So this is what good defensive drivers or riders do. So the moment you have decided you have made, or the moment you have known you have made a mistake, you try and rectify it as soon as possible. But for this case, you see that the driver continued pushing me outside the road, and being pushed outside the road with bikes, it's such a risky affair. You don't know what you'll get on the roadside. You might get stones, you might get gravel, chippings, loose chippings, which are quite dangerous when this sports bike steps on. But hopefully it did well. It did end well. Sorry for that. And we are back on the road, and yeah, enjoy the video till the end.
Anakuja, so nikasema hata nitokezee, na kuna boda alikuwa nilikuwa na sasa nikapiga sababu ya kutafuta. Sawa tu, haina shida.